Warrior, this is a most important week. I want you to listen up and listen good. We are demanding the release of the Epstein files. There is something called the Epstein Files Transparency Act pending right now in Congress. This story has been such an unending saga, crime saga, going on for years and years. Did you know that 5 administrations have known about Jeffrey Epstein? Yet, there's no clear path to real answers, real accountability, real support of victims that have bravely come forward to share their stories. I want to share with you this week because there's so many different stories fluttering around, and I understand people do these videos. I mean, I am here, but our mission with the Warriors is always giving you facts, giving you take actions, giving you transparency, while others just play around for what they may consider low-hanging fruit for clicks and likes. We're not like that at the Warriors. I do want everybody to listen because we do work closely with all of this. A most powerful video, if you go to our X account, our Facebook, or our Instagram, Lynn's Warriors. Made it easy. Everything's named Lynn's Warriors. Because I want all of you to be a warrior for yourself, a warrior in your own home and community. That is our goal, okay, at our organization, at our nonprofit. And watch this video by our colleagues at World Without Exploitation. It is most powerful. It's all you need to know. I want to weigh in on this story this week while the president's saying something, the House Speaker is saying something, the left, for shorthand, saying something, the right is saying something. We've got Marjorie Taylor Greene, we've got Thomas Massie. It's a mess. Will we ever get to the bottom of this? It really pains me to say that because so many years have gone by, so many are complicit. People of power, wealth. I don't really ever think so. Why is the DOJ holding on to terabytes, holding on to videos, images, direct, depositions for years now and not releasing them? Why? Yes, we've had files released in the past. Kind of all started with Pam Bondi last July with I have it on my desk. It's horrible. It's awful. And then the next day it was coming out of the administration. That's a hoax. It's nothing to see here. And then some very heavily redacted files. And of course it was said that, we don't want to put the victims in any kind of, position. But here's the thing. All of the victims, pretty much, anybody involved, all of these now women say, we don't care. We were harmed. We want these files released. Now, so there are 2 separate files. Understand there's in Congress, and that is why we have the Epstein Files Transparency Act right now. And then there's the DOJ that's been sitting on things forever. But just, I don't know, last night, middle of the night or something, I read something about the DOJ, an analysis, a breakdown, saying recently thousands have left the DOJ and thousands more, because remember, these are big government organizations, and thousands more were pushed out. What does this all mean? Connect the dots. Why is Ghislaine, a sex trafficking convicted felon who's supposed to be in a federal penitentiary, do we use that word anymore, prison, why was she whisked in the middle of the night to what they refer to as a country club facility, where we hear she's playing with pets, where we hear she's being given special vegetarian meals in her cell, where we're told she's allowed to go into town for lattes, where she regularly takes advantage of spa services, we've heard. And we've even heard a big black SUV pulls up once or twice a week and she disappears for hours at a time. She's transferred to this when we have on record 1,000+ women who have come forward. Can you imagine the women who have not come forward? Because most victims of sexual exploitation, of these crimes, want to forget about it, don't want to remember it, want to block it out, don't want to drag their families into it, don't want to relive it, think it's their fault, think they were dumb. What does a 12 or a 14 or 16-year-old girl really know when you've got adults around you showing you a good time, telling you you're beautiful, telling you they'll help you with your school or your career? But I have to ask the question that constantly is in my head. If you're 12 or 14 or 16, where are your parents? Where's your mother? How are you able to go to Lolita Island? Did your parents sell you? Does your parent not care about you? What's going on here? We never address that one because that's kind of the taboo one, like where are the parents? But I have to ask, and I've always been asking, where are the neighbors? I heard from a friend of mine after all this Epstein. There were always the whispers on the street, right? I had no proof. I couldn't do anything. But a friend of mine told me when all this broke, what is it now, 7, 8 years ago? The unending criminal story of Epstein Maxwell and those other ones complicit, that girls in school uniforms would show up at his mansion on East 71st Street, knocking on the door, ringing the doorbell after school. I'm like, what? And she said to me, yes, a friend of mine lives on the same street. I said, well, didn't anybody do anything? She said, no. She shook her shoulders, no. And there you have it. At least if you see little girls, teen girls, knocking on a door routinely, going in and out, aren't you going to ask questions if they don't have a parent, so they're not going like to speech classes or ballet or musical lessons? Very odd. The girls were always alone. I did ask that. So many knew, so many did nothing. What do we hope for this Epstein story? I'm very clear on what I think is going to happen. The president also reversed in the last day or so, release all the files. Okay, that's great. Is this more kicking the can down the road? Because when there's nothing to see here with the current administration, then why didn't the DOJ release files? Or is it an administration protecting rich and powerful friends and associates? Or, and it sounds crazy to say this is not political, right? This story belongs to no political party, not right, not left. But why is the emphasis, on Trump and right? What about Bill Clinton? Documented all those times. Why isn't there more noise about him? He was president of the United States. This is a mess. But we at the Warriors, we stand with victims. We empower them. Are so proud of them coming forward because they don't want any other girls or women to suffer. And they demand accountability. They demand action. Will we see it? I'll say, wait and see. But we always end with honor our warriors hashtag, which is community creates change, because that's where the real work is done, in the community, and you can be a part of that. Join us at the Warriors. Like this video, share our channel, share these videos. Let's leverage the internet for good. Help us get to the front of the pack, because you know and I know that the stories we talk about on the Warriors, the work we do in the Warriors, is not very popular. Help us get the information into the communities, into the homes. Talk to your kids, open and honestly. They're seeing and hearing everything these days anyway. Even when you think they aren't, they're taking it all in. Why do you think there's such a youth mental health crisis? This week, let's go forward. Let's see what happens with this Epstein story. Will there ever be justice for the victims? We hope and we pray. Stay tuned. Remember, when you wake up each and every day, it's 2025, almost 2026. You must go out and be a warrior.